Yes. All right. Yeah. Welcome back, guys, to another stream. So yeah. Sorry for being late. Need to do something. Right. Okay. Thing without further ado, let's get started. Okay. So yeah, basically we're going to continue on texturing the character. Uh, yeah. Yesterday I mean the last stream we have started working on the body parts, right? And actually I went ahead and do some texturing. So but the setup is pretty much simple, as you can see. It's just a soft shading that we picked in the last stream, and then I added this suit to the body. So yeah, it's just additional texture, nothing too crazy. And also already start on the hat too. So same technique with the body, a bit shading on the bottom here, bottom part of the head, and then manual painting on the eyes. So yeah, same stuff. So yeah, so what we left today is this hair part that we need to work on. So yeah, I think we can get started. So for the head, yeah. So for the head, the technique is, yeah, the texture should be quite simple, but a lot of tweaking need to be done at first. So basically, I will draw these lines to like emphasize the hair strains, and then add a bit shading to emphasize the shadow. So yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. So yeah, let's get started. So for now, we'll hide the veil so we can see the hair clearly. Okay, so I already imported to my Clip Studio pane and we can start drawing here. I will create a new folder and name it outline. Okay, create a new layer, and then I will use my pen here. So I think I will resize it to maybe 6. I think 6 is too small. Let's try it with 8. Okay, maybe we can try to draw first and see the result. Another way, maybe pick the reference here. Here, there we go. See, I think that's a bit thin, right? We need to make it much more thicker. So probably 12 is the correct size, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, I think 12 is too thin. Maybe let's try 50. Yeah, let's try to experiment here and see what the best result is. Yeah, I think 50 is the right size. Probably we can like try 40. Still experimenting with brush size here. Yeah, if I do 12, I can make it thicker, but I need to like press the brush. Yeah, I think 50 is fine. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, I will try to also. I don't know. Maybe pick my reference here. So open. Should be this one. Let's see. Paste the file. There we go. Because something like this. Okay. Okay, let's start working. Yeah, I think that's okay. So let's move on over here. Yeah, let's just try to pick the correct lines here. Okay, it's looking good. Okay, I think we can move on to this part. So this one has these lines. Not sure how we can do that. Yeah, maybe we can just try to clean up right here. So let's create a box like that. We can color it and see the result. Not bad, but a bit too thick, so let's make it thinner. Okay. Oops. Okay, probably we can also make lines here. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Question from Hafiz. Between Pokemon and Digimon, which I prefer? Uh, Neither. I don't really, fun into those Pokemon and Digimon thingy. I don't even know other Pokemon than Pikachu, and I don't even know any names of Digimon characters. So yeah, I don't really know. So neither. I don't prefer both of them. But something that I found when I was child is probably Lego. So yeah, I'm more into Lego thing. So let's move on to this part. I want to like make some highlights here. I mean some. Maybe let's try that. Yeah. Uh, if you talk about Lego, probably Ninjago is one of my favorite. To be honest, the first time I know Lego is from video games actually. So it was PlayStation 2 games. The game is Lego Batman. Yeah, I think Lego Batman 2 or something. Yeah, that was my first Lego experience actually. But for the toys, I don't have any Lego toys. I just like playing the game. Yeah, light entity issues. That's true. Yeah, like Lego sets are expensive, right? So when I was kid, I could not afford it. Of course, my parents could not afford it. So the only thing that I can afford back then was the PlayStation and the game. Yeah, I think that's, I don't know, looking good, I guess. But maybe you can make it a bit thinner. So let's make it here. Yeah, try to figure out the hair flow. It what? Oh, I know. uh, yeah, back then, uh, like, yeah, PlayStation 2 disc are games in my country back then. Most of them are pirated. Like the these are not original. So it's cheap back then. So yeah. Yeah. So in Asia back then the these are not original. So it's quite cheap, like 5,000 rupiahs each disc back then. 5,000 rupiahs is like you know, you can buy uh a food like rice with egg. Yeah, that's kind of analogy for the price. So it's pretty cheap. But the PlayStation itself is uh, yeah, kind of expensive. But the games are are not originals. Okay, so yeah, I think this is pretty good. Then we can move on to this side. Yeah, yeah, that's true. To be honest, I never experienced PlayStation 3 ever once in my life. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know how PlayStation 3 feels or looks like. So basically I jump from, so I start with PlayStation 1 and then PlayStation 2, and then after this I jump into PlayStation 4, and then I stopped. I don't have PlayStation 5. So PlayStation 4 is my last console. Okay, let's see. I think this one is too thick. Maybe I make it a bit thinner. It's too thick. Let's make it thinner. I see. That's interesting. Yeah, I never played PlayStation 3 in my life. But I do like saw some previews like on the game stores. The one that makes me, you know, in awe is I think Final Fantasy game or in early PlayStation 3. Like the graphics are very less realistic. I think it was like Final Fantasy 13 or something. The one that the protagonist is female. I don't really remember the title. I mean the uh, exact number. Yeah. 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 My last console experience is PlayStation 4, and then I I jumped into PC, and then after that I never back to consoles. So let's see. I think that's pretty good. I think we can move on to this side. Okay, maybe let's try add a bit stripe here and see the result. Okay, I think that's pretty good. So we can continue. Okay, let's try again. Maybe a bit much more tidy. Or maybe we can use the lasso. I mean the polyline tools here. Can print this and see the result. Okay, I think that's pretty clean. Yeah, yeah. Like during PlayStation 4, like pretty much any games are available on PC, right? So I think there is no point to to buy new consoles every generation, I guess, unless there is something very unique about it. Like, yeah, Nintendo Switch was very unique back then, right? Because the portability and stuff, and yeah, especially the Zelda game, the Breath of the Wild, that kinda, you know, introduced a new type of standard on gaming, I guess. And then later Genshin Impact born. I guess, yeah, Nintendo was the last. Nintendo Switch, I think, is the last innovative console ever made. And then like now we got many many alternatives to Nintendo Switch, like handhelds, like the Lenovo Legion Go. I think Lenovo Legion Go, I personally own one, so Lenovo Legion Go, the first generation, and I think it's very, you know, very, what I can say, like anything in one device, I guess. So yeah, and then so I think console is already dead first. But the only console worth having is Oculus or MetaQuest. Oh yeah, VR is probably something that worth trying, of course. My first VR experience is I think the first VR device that I ever tried, but not owning. So I just trying trying the device. The one that I was ever the first device is, I think the name is called HTC STC what STC something, I don't really remember. Yeah, STC5, I remember the name now. So the first VR device I first tried is STC5, and then I also developed a game on that device. So it was a horror game. So yeah, that was my first ever VR device that I ever tried, and the first VR device that I ever developed a game on it. So let's move on here. Speaking of MetaQuest, I think the first device that I've ever tried is MetaQuest Go, I think. So it was my client's device, and then I need to develop like a virtual learning module on the device. So I borrow the client device. Yeah, it's pretty striking when I was trying the Oculus Go. Like it's very compact. You can like bring it anywhere without any cables and stuff. Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah. Oh yeah. If you ever try the STC5, you probably like the demo game from Valve. So it was like a lot of stickmans, and then one of my favorite quote unquote demo game from Steam is the one that we can shoot arrows to enemies. The feeling is very like the haptics on the controller are very good back then. It was like a new story. I mean, a new experience for me back then. Yeah, I think it's good. We can move on here. Mm. Then we can add a bit stripe here. We add a bit lines here. Yeah, I'm not sure if we if Clip Studio have like auto smoothing the lines. Like sometimes my hand is not very stable, so I need to like draw the lines. We try every time. Yeah, probably that's true, Hafiz. Yeah, not sure, but the only quest that I ever try is the quest code, so there is no tracking device on that VR. Okay. Mm. It does stabilization in the press settings. Which one? Let's see. Is this one? Oh, is it this one? No. What I mean is like auto making the line straight. Like on the Apple iPads application, when you do like strike lanes like this, and then it's automatically corrected. So it's not the stabilization. It's not this one, but more like auto smoothing or something. I don't think Clip Studio has that. Oh, oh, I see. Yeah, probably vector layers. Yeah, I think I will look that on the internet later. Let's see. Yeah, I think the lines already looking good. Then we can add a bit shadow. So the technique is pretty simple. Just add shadow on the hair strands here, as you can see. So usually I just make a new layer and then like um, using a bright noticeable color first, like maybe blue, and then try to check how the shadow looks like on the model. Okay, I think for easier access, I think I just set this part. Maybe not. I think we can just draw this. And some bit shadow here. Wait, why is strange? Okay, let's see. Yeah, I think that's pretty good shadow. Let's make it a bit tidier. Okay. Okay, let's move on. That's pretty good. Uh, yeah, I think yeah, I think that's also my one of my favorite games, but I don't really remember the actual title. So the first Ultraman, I mean the first and the last Ultraman game that I ever played in PlayStation was in PlayStation 1, and then the graphics, I think the graphics is pretty good too. The gameplay was, so there is this like classic Ultraman, right? So Ultraman, the one that has I don't really remember the name. The one that has like you know, like a horn, like unicorn horn on the head. And then that was my one of my favorite character to play in that game. I think the name is Ultraman Taro or something. And then the enemies are the one that looks like a crab, I guess. The hand is looking like a crab, and it can shoot laser throughout the eyes, I think. Yeah, I don't really remember the exact Ultraman title, but yeah, that was my one of my favorite game in PlayStation. Yeah, probably the one that aside from that game, the other one that was my favorite is uh of course Harvest Moon, the original Harvest Moon. I think the one is Harvest Moon. I don't really remember the title, but yeah, basically you start as a boy, right? That you need to like fix your grandfather uh grandfather feel. Yeah, that was also my favorite game. Yes. Yeah, I remember using this game shark thingy to cheat on the game. Oh, good times. And then on the PlayStation 2, uh, my favorite game was the next Harvest Moon, the one that has I don't really remember the name too, but yeah, the other Harvest Moon, and then the motorcycle racing game. I don't really remember the name too again, but yeah, I think those two are my favorites. Oh yeah, one other that was my racing game that I really like is the game called Rumble. I think Rumble, NASCAR Rumble. That one is really great. Yeah, Harvest Moon was big. Mhm. And of course, Crash Bandicoot also one of the greatest game ever. Especially the Crash Bandicoot Team Racing CTR. Yeah, also Pepsi Man game was was big too. Oh yeah, the racing game was MX versus ATV type series. So MX versus ATV. You know, like the free roaming level is just really good back then. Pepsi man. Oh yeah, also Metal Slug. But it's I think that Metal Slug is not PlayStation game, right? I don't remember. I think it was like Nintendo or maybe Game Boy thing. But yeah, Metal Slug also my favorite. I see. Yeah. I still remember when you know you hit the you pick up the H crate and then the character will say heavy machine gun. I see. Yeah, probably I should replay that again. But yeah, after that, like after the PlayStation console thing, I think it was like back in 2018 or something. Yeah, mobile can start booming, right? And then the first ever anime related game was Honkai Impact. I think that I think that is the starting point when I start playing gacha games. Oh, I see. Ah, try to make the smooth lines here. Yeah, I think that's good. Maybe add a bit more. Let's see. Yeah, maybe a bit more here. Here. I think that's too much. Let's refer back. I think this is pretty good. We can go with this. Okay. Nice. Next up is this one. Okay, that looks great. Move on to this part. Okay, nice. And it's a bit shading here. Yeah, speaking of mobile games, I still remember that Angry Bird was very popular back then, right? So, but the Android device is kind of still expensive back then. So, I still remember that I tried to play that game using web browser, and then look at any Android emulation just to play Angry Birds. Here. Pepsi try figure out that it had better chance of success and it's cheaper to buy three franchise than trying to compete with Coke. Yeah, that's an interesting fun fact. Yeah, yeah. To be honest, I think I never tried Pepsi before. Like in Asia, it's not very popular, right? Right. So there's only like Coke and Sprite here. So yeah, I don't know how Pepsi tastes like. Okay, nice. Can move on. Let's add a bit shadow here. That's too much. Bit thinner. Yeah, yeah. I think there's almost no Pepsi in like a convenience store near me. Like you need to go to a mall to find a Pepsi and other type of Coke like Monster Energy, Red Bull, and stuff like that. But yeah, Coke is the easier one that you can find in convenience store in in Indonesia at least. Mm, yeah, that's right. Yeah, probably because of that. Yeah, like yeah, especially in you know, on events like Eid Fitri or Eid Adha. Here, usually people you know, offer drinks, carbonated drinks like Pepsi. I mean, Coke and Sprite. Usually on that event, like almost no Pepsi can be seen in any house. So yeah, almost there is no Pepsi here. Like yeah, even in a big event like that, the one that usually offered to guests is Coke and Sprite and other drinks. You're not sure if Malaysia still, I mean, has the same, you know, culture. Okay. Yeah, that is pretty good. I think we can add the actual shadow color and see the result. Cool. Yeah, probably a bit, you know, bit too much. Then we can make this color instead, and then this one, then we can reduce the opacity, maybe. Yeah, experiment with the color here. That's not, oops, that's not right. Yeah, I think we can remove. Let's see, let's see. Okay, we don't need this shadow. Let's remove that. Teh tarik enjoyer. Yeah, I think teh tarik is like, you know, tea and milk, right? Yeah, yeah, I think that's a good combination. Hello, Ratu. Welcome to the stream. I think I will choose a lighter color. See if we get a good result. Nothing. Yeah, probably this one has you know, less shadow. I can do that too. just trying to find a good balance between the shadow and the outline. Yeah, that's a bit too much, right? Let's play around with the opacity. Yeah, not sure is it because I don't apply outlines to the model? So it's kind of looks a bit different from the original design. That thing that's thing I'm not sure. Maybe I can add a bit shadow here, like that. That's not correct. Yeah, I did like apply a bit shadowed here too. Yeah, I think we can do the same and see the result. So just a bit like shadow. Just this color. And select this part. Maybe we can just use black color, I guess. Yeah, that's true of this. But they actually looking my client looking something similar to this, right? So they actually send me some reference between the actual desired result and the the art here. So they want it to be like this. So obviously this one is a bit softer than this one. So yeah, I think it's expected for the art and 3D model to be different because they prefer this stylized pixelated thing, which is commonly used of gradient and soft looking. But there's a bit you know hard part like this outline. Yeah, not sure what I'm talking about, but yeah, trying to like as at least the look and feel is still respect to the original art. Okay. That's true. I think that's a bit shading. I think we can apply overlay, I guess, or maybe not. Maybe just a normal color. Let's pick this color and then apply it. Maybe I can just multiply instead. How about without it? Yeah, not sure. I think I will lose the original the original non-pixelated texture here, just to see um, what I did to achieve this kind of style. Where is it? This one. Okay, so as you can see, there's a bit shadow here and shadow here, which is what I did, but not sure why I don't see the result that I want. Okay, so as you can see, I added a bit shadow. Let's see and compare it side by side. Yeah, probably we are missing these heights. Probably that's why it's kind of different. Yeah, let me try to apply some setting again. Let's go back to the black color. Yeah, this one is not very smooth, right? Let's see what we can do about it. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Nice. Probably I will add a bit here too. Maybe too much. Hi, PM. Thank you so much for the compliments. Yeah, trying hard here. So I'm glad that you are liking it. Yeah, I think we can stop here and just apply the shadow, probably a bit thicker color. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Probably when I apply the highlights, probably it can be much better. So yeah, let's rename this so it don't lose. Um, yeah, usually I make a backup in case I messed up something. So make a new folder just in case. Okay, I think we can apply the highlights. Yes, I will choose a very different color here. We'll try to the highlights here by making stripes. Not a very good position. How about this? Yeah, no. How about this? I think that's pretty good. Yeah, I think the last one is better. Hard surface modeling. Yeah, I personally like not very uh knowledgeable regarding hard surface modeling. But I think there is an add-on for that to make your life easier. I think we can keep this. Okay, let's move on to the other side. Try to make the lines here. Yeah, I think just practice, and then you find, eventually, like, found the best workflow for yourself. That's not good. How about this? Yeah, that's pretty good. Maybe a bit like this. Yeah, as you can see, there's a bit stretching there, but I guess that's fine. No picky. Probably we can adjust this manually, so. Nope. Yeah, I think that's all right. We can keep it like that. Probably I will remove that too. So yeah, I think we can try to make it, separated. Okay, so I will pick my eraser here and try to remove some parts. Yep, maybe I will take a pickup first. Okay, this one, and then probably here. Okay, then like this. Okay, that is fine. It's pretty good, I think. Yeah, I think we can add a bit more, like small stripes. Here. Just a very subtle detail. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, so now I can apply the highlight colors. So usually what I do is just use this sample and then make it a bit brighter. And oops. Okay. Maybe let's add enable the veil. I think it's pretty good, I guess. Probably too bright. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think that's too bright. Let's use some, softer color. I think this is good. Maybe I can reduce the shadow a bit. Yeah, I think that's looking pretty good, I guess. Yeah, I think we can keep it like this. Probably, I think this already looking good. Maybe if there's need some tweaking, maybe I can wait for the client feedback. But yeah, I think it's already looking good. Okay, so that's I think that's all right. What else we did miss? Yeah, I think this one I missed the symbol here. It should not be symmetrized, but yeah, that will be my own task later. Yeah, I think there's some stuff that I need to fix, especially this fade. As you can see, the color is not blending properly. So yeah, let's fix that. So I will go to my PSD file again for the dress texture. Open it. And then I will export it as PNG. Okay. Then I can edit it manually on Blender. So select this. And this is the PSD file. Look for the PNG file, which is this one and this one. Okay. And then I could do texture pane, and then let's isolate this part and focus on this section. Then basically just blend this, try to blend this together. I think I will reflect it back again. I think we don't need the accessory for now, so let's remove this all like this, I guess. Maybe leave the shock. But without the stripes. There we go. Yeah, I'm not sure if there is a better workflow for this, but this is currently what I prefer. I think the spread is smooth, right? Okay, let's see if there is anything. There is a bit. Let me focus on here and maybe disable the mirror modifier first. And as you can see, there is a bit seam, visible seam between the texture. So let's make it and blend the colors together. Okay, I think that's looking good. And let's go to the other side and blend the colors. Okay, then that's good. Let's enable that and save the texture. Yeah, let's see if there's other stuff that I need to manually tweak. I think it's pretty good. Let's import the image again. Let's see. Let, let me hide my folder first. To the correct folder here. Okay, there we go. Texture, dress, and then do it like that. Save the file. Okay, let's see if the changes is applied to the PSD file. Okay, as you can see, it's much more smoother. There's no visible seam. Why the upper part is not updated? Oh, I disabled them. Let's try to enable them again. Okay, now we are here. Okay, let's see if there is other stuff that I have to blend. Yeah, I think it's looking pretty good. What about this? As you can see, there is a bit seam here. Yeah, and we need to fix that. Okay, so let's go back to here. Let me disable of this and re-enable the sleeves part, just this one. Then export it as PNG. Okay, oops. I need to close this file first. Let's do again. Okay. Okay, now we need to blend this color. Yeah, wait a second. But then also we need the highlights. Okay. Okay, let's see. Blend this. Yeah, it's not very noticeable, but if you look closely, there is a bit visible seam. And like this one, we need to blend the color. We'd like to I messed up. Let me just out this so we can focus. Maybe not. Not sure what I'm doing. What am I doing here? Okay, let's blend the color slowly. Okay, that's done. Sorry, revisit the top here. Okay, that's done. Yeah, let's save this and bring it back to the PSD file. and re-enable all of this stuff. Save this and see the result. Yeah, I think these colors are great. Okay. Yeah, let's see about the body here. Yeah, then all of the color are blended correctly. Yeah, that's all, guys. The model is pretty much complete. As you can see, the texture is already there. Yeah, currently it's already 10 p.m. So yeah, basically the model. Oh, wait a second. I think we're missing something. As you can see, there is no eyelashes. Not sure why. I think because the Pypixy cooling. Yeah, it's because the Pypixy cooling. There we go. Oh, yeah, but yeah, I think that's pretty much it. As you can see, the model is finished. Yeah, for tomorrow, I think we can work on the facial expressions and then create the facial expressions. So yeah, but as you can see, the texturing is already complete. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for coming to the stream, and I hope to see you on the next stream. Bye bye.